security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect that security guard. It's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I think it's...
Officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
The Atlanta court system released all the files in King Von's passing case, exposing new evidence we've never seen. It begins with the police being told by a nurse at the hospital King Von was brought back to life and made it through 2 surgeries. Unfortunately, King Von got startled by the nurse going in the room, which resulted in his passing.
And Von made it through 2 surgeries. He had 3 surgeries ago. He made it through 2 surgeries. And then after the 2nd surgery, he hopped off the bed and started fighting the nurse and said where his gun at. And he died because he went into shock. So he was making 2 surgeries. How hours later, Kayla know, talking about some, he fought the nurse. She the one told me that. His mama didn't even know that. How you knowing what's going on inside the hospital that quick?
Because she was there at the hospital.
But Von was looking for a firearm that he never had. This evidence only came out today. So how did Boozy know he didn't have a firearm in an interview from 2 years ago?
I mean, like you said, the King Von situation, like there was absolutely no reason for Von to be rolling around with that dude. Like, there was no, especially since he had security, like, you know, someone should have jumped in. It should never even...
King Von
I almost feel like... But I almost feel like if you have real security...
All of them is supposed to blast. I feel like they would have been more ready in Chicago.
Sad, man. Sad. I mean, the whole King Von thing is really kind of hanging
me up,
over everyone right now.
That f***ed me up, bro. Because I like King Von.
But what's even crazier, the police noted King Von was likely backdoored by one of his own team members. King Von had paid bodyguards who were supposed to protect him on this night, but when everything went down, they ran away.
His security guard let him walk. You get paid he get paid to protect. How the f you let him walk over and fight? You ain't supposed to let him fight. He ain't supposed to be touching nobody. Security guard, if anything, you make sure Quando them leave. Whoever else they was with, you make sure they leave. How you let him walk over somebody that's... The reason y'all here, the reason everybody in this parking lot here, because this man right here making the money and y'all his entourage. But that security guard, it's something fishy with him. That's why he deleted his Instagram. I definitely feel like it's foul play. I don't know where it's coming from, but I definitely feel like it's some weird shit going on.
When you add this to what Vonnie's father said about his own son, you start to see the truth. Because Vonnie's dad heard his son was snitching and exposed him for playing a role in King Von's passing. He claimed that Lil Durk knew about it.
I'm gonna give you this. It's a back door and I got all the pieces. That's all I'm gonna tell you. As Durk asked Vonnie, is it open? Vonnie told him it's off the hinges.
Wait. Are you talking about the Von? Like King Von?
Listen very carefully. When the payment was made to Little Tim, the next day or the same day, Durk asked Vonnie, was it open? This is what he asked him. Was it open? It was the exact words, was it open? He told him it's off the hinges.
Are you saying that Vonnie backdoor King Von? No way. That was right here.
You heard what I just said. Guess what? You need motive first, right? I got bankers. I got bankers that'll testify that or will make a contract or make a statement to you and let you know that this is the amount of money he had, this is what he had, this is that another. You need motive first and foremost. I got text messages from the lawyer letting you know that who told on Durk who told on Von before he...
But initially, it doesn't make sense why Durk would want Von gone. But the police noted that Durk and Von had a court case with each other at the time. But after Von passed, the case ended in a private settlement, which makes fans believe that Durk put the crime on Von to escape the case.
Why would Durk want Von?
All right, man. Let me give you this. First of all, you didn't sign your rights over. You ain't in no 360 deal. First of all, you can't bring nobody into the business and they surpass you. How you bring me to the table when I pass you up? Don't nobody want their chief spot taken, do they?
That's an interesting
dude was
thing.
A slack. Dude was a. He was signed to boys. He was a. Von wasn't no slack.
That's interesting. I did find out that Von didn't have any contractual ties to Durk like that, which was interesting.
I mean, come on, man. He wasn't even signed to him. How's this his friend? He lied on Breakfast Club and said, "Hey, you think your man would be sitting here with $300,000 worth of jewelry on and he not have an attorney?" He had a public defender.
This had fans drawing connections to when people pass and when Durk is on Instagram Live. With Vonnie's dad leaking Durk had Von dealt with, it makes me wonder why Durk goes on Instagram whenever he's connected to a passing. He went on live the minute when King Von, Lil Pab, and FBG Duck passed away, as people believe Durk used Instagram like an alibi. If he ever got investigated by the feds for a crime, he could have said he was just live on Instagram instead. But Vonnie's dad wasn't done and said that Vonnie also orchestrated Lil Pab's passing.
Oh no, he ain't take my advice. He ain't respond no back to me because this is on a tablet. He on a jail tablet when I sent that to him. He ain't respond nothing else to him. I told you he can't take my advice because they playing. They made themselves get caught. This is what come along with it. They wanted to get caught. You understand me?
So, that's what you meant by trenches paint. Okay.
What you mean trenches what?
Was it you that said that? With the whole narrative about Vonnie snitching with the text messages. Like, that's...
Yeah. I don't know who said that, but that was me.
Cause that was a focus. Everybody was trying to make it seem like that's what the text messages was about.
That's just saying what he finna cop out to and this, that, and and with me saying Von, some people like, damn, what he gonna tell on some words on Von?
I ain't gonna lie, I said that in my video. I'm intrigued to know what the Von name was for.
No, he ain't gonna tell him no Von. You gonna tell it just like you orchestrated Lil Pab, you orchestrated this. And guess who you work for?
However, the police covered the entire day of King Von's passing and how it went down. On November 5th, 2020, Von and his crew prepared to head to a club in Atlanta for his album's release party. The party was supposed to celebrate King Von's success, but no one expected it would be so short-lived. Once it came time to head to the club, they rolled out with 25 members in 8 different vehicles. Even Von's manager spoke on the safety measures Von took.
I travel with one security that moves with Von, and he traveled with 2 more security. You know what I'm saying? Von traveled in a proof truck, and not only that, his guys are security, man. He travels with 10 to 15 guys daily. They protect and love Von more than any security would. I think we're about 8-10 cars deep, 20-25 on entourage.
Everything with the party was going great, and it ended at 2:30 in the morning. The plan was to go back to their hotels for the night, but Von changed plans.
Everybody mind leaving the club is that we're going to the hotel and the Airbnb, because that's normal routine. The club he went to, the after hours, wasn't getting paid for. I didn't have no acknowledgement of. His team didn't have no acknowledgement of. That was a complete Von decision.
Von told his driver to go to another club called the Monaco, as this was the first decision that led to the end of King Von.
So everybody else that was with us driving to the Airbnb, and Von literally went to the venue by himself. We got a call later from people in the car, like, hey bro, we here by, matter of fact, I think from his DJ was like, hey bro, we here by ourselves, like, where you guys at? And everybody rerouted to that venue.
The people in Von's truck didn't let the rest of the team know they were going to another club, so once they got to Monaco, they were by themselves. Luckily, the rest of the team was able to catch up with them before anything went down at the new club. However, Von's manager realized Von wasn't acting right. Rather than being upbeat, he was sitting silently in the car for 30 minutes.
For some reason, Von wasn't himself. This man is like, I promise you, the best artist I ever moved in my life. For some reason that night, it was off. Like, he stayed in the car for like 30-35 minutes.
After convincing him, Von was finally ready to go into the club. But first, they sent in some of Von's security to make sure the club was safe.
I went to the car he was in. I was like, yo, Von. Went inside the passenger seat. I'm like, yo, Von, bro, what's going on? Like, everybody here waiting, let's go. He was like, all right, let's go. We're telling security, hey, it's time to go in now. Von's ready. You know what I'm saying? We've been here too long. Let's go inside the club. They check the venue, go inside, check the outside, make sure there's no...
But the real danger was in the parking lot because one of Von's crew members noticed Quando Rondo and his team sitting in a white vehicle in the parking lot.
Now, right before we go inside the club, one of his homeboys, he came to the car and said, hey, so-and-so's here. And Von just jumped up like, oh, come on, let's go.
King Von jumped out of his truck almost instantly and looked to confront Quando Rondo. Von's team wanted to get him to chill out, but it didn't stop him. He walked around the front of the vehicle and went straight for Quando Rondo.
He jumped out the car. By the time Von jumped out the car, I don't even think he knew where so-and-so was. He just jumped out the car. He bumped into so-and-so. As soon as he bumped into so-and-so, started brawling.
With Quando losing the brawl, his best friend Tim quickly came from behind the white car and used a firearm toward King Von in the street. Von's members who were still strapped retaliated on Lil Tim and made him fall to the ground just a few feet away. But what made it worse was that 2 off-duty officers pulled up to the scene and continued using their firearms between the 2 groups. While this goes down, Quando and King Von are laying on the street beside each other. Some people claim Quando tried snatching King Von's chain, but Von's manager believes Von was holding him as a shield.
And was he trying to take Von's chain or?
Honest truth, I don't think V-Roy had no jewelry on, and from the people that was a little bit closer, Von was actually holding onto him like, man, you ain't going nowhere. Like, you here, like, even through getting, he's that strong, like, he was literally holding him.
But once the scene relaxed, the race to save King Von's life was on. Instantly, King Von's close friend Muwop ran into the street and picked up King Von to get him to the getaway vehicle. At the same time, Quando's team gets Quando and Tim and takes them to the same hospital. Surprisingly, King Von was conscious the whole time in the car. He kept reassuring his team that everything would be okay in order to keep them calm.
When he was in the car, I myself wasn't there. The gentleman that was in the car with him was panicking, and Von was the one that was like, hey, calm down, slow down, chill, I'm gonna be good, just get me to the hospital. And honest truth, we all thought that the way he was carrying himself from that incident, from what I was told from the people in the car, that he would have been fine.
Once they arrived at the hospital, King Von was rushed to the operating room where he underwent 2 surgeries, but he suddenly passed when he was startled by a nurse in the hospital recovery room while looking for his firearm. But sadly, King Von's passing spread through the news and shook the rap community.
This made national headlines as officials confirmed one of the 3 people was rapper King Von from Chicago, who was here last night with friends.
2 groups of individuals got into a physical altercation. That physical altercation escalated into an exchange of guns.
Knowing Quando and Tim were responsible, everyone waited for their take on what happened that night. Finally, we got their reactions, and Rondo said,
whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like that could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Even Lil Tim spoke out and said if Von didn't act the way he did, he would still be alive.
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn. If Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, yeah, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying f him and like that, cause I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Ultimately, Tim survived his injuries at the hospital, but he was charged for the passing of King Von the next day. After going through the legal system and hiring a good lawyer, Lil Tim's charges were dropped after they claimed self-defense in court. As his attorney said, the case against Lil Tim was dismissed before ever being indicted. But Von's friends wouldn't let this go, as they did a hit on Quando Rondo's crew.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles and cameras captured the aftermath.
This resulted in Quando's friend Lil Pab being taken out, as Quando went through the same emotions that King Von's friends did 1 year prior. Durk actually rapped lyrics about how Quando reacted when he said, "Look on the news and see your son screaming no."
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
Not long after, Durk claimed to be behind the hit on a diss track with the lyrics, "They like Durk, he a singer, he won't do something. You can believe whatever you want. I got your folks hit."